Hello and welcome back to my walkthrough to Final Fantasy 15. In the last episode, we finally reached Altissia, and we recently had a interaction with the sort of countess, or I can't remember exactly her position that she holds, but essentially maybe the viscount or countess, governess. Someone who essentially runs the place, and essentially she wants Noctis to go to her place and actually, she will eventually want to talk to Noctis, and we can essentially discuss sort of like terms for like hopefully meeting Luna Freya and everything else. Now, why are we? But that is not what we're going to do today. The reason for that is I think it's worth us actually, having an explore around and actually seeing what delights await us here in Altissia.
Then you get to enjoy it with us.
All three of us. You are a lucky man.
Oh, that's great. So, what we're going to probably do is try and take on some quests from Margot's. So, the restaurant that's just here, we can try and take some quests from there. We can also see, as you can see, you can buy lots and lots of sort of fishing items, which I believe are sort of like a lot of sort of what Altissia is known for in that sense. But yeah, we're going to largely look at sort of.
Fish? I wonder where you can catch it.
Dunno. Why don't you ask the shop?
Couldn't be bothered.
Oh,
No.
I know what you mean. I'm awkward around people too.
Yeah, right.
So anyway, another thing we should do is really sort of listen to the radio, see if we can find something. I reckon I just skipped the one that actually was one.
They're hard at work on reopening the altar of the slumbering sea goddess. Access to the area around the shrine is currently restricted to government personnel only. The Piazza Urail will also be closed to the public ahead of Lady Luna Freya's address. Officials will be sealing off the plaza to secure the area and ensure the safety of all in attendance.
So there we hear, obviously, about the plans that Altissia has had to make to essentially allow Luna Freya to make her address. And it doesn't look like there's anything else, unfortunately. So yeah, there was something there about that I missed, unfortunately, which is a little disappointing. So anyway, we have our not quite our final, I think it's our 5th book of the Cosmogony, and this is The Crystal. There once lived a man, born immortal but blessed with powers divine. Conjuring a collection of glaives, he dispelled the darkness plaguing our star. As a reward for his efforts, the god granted him a holy stone, the Crystal, which he was to guard at all costs, for it would one day choose a king to see us through the coming disaster and lead us to salvation. So there is sort of the crystal is obviously the crystal in the case of like Lucis's crystal, and the king is naturally going to be Noctis. So see much there. Now let's we should be able to take quests from here.
I was wondering when you might show up. So
yeah, we can definitely take quests here. We can also get some information, sort of what's going on. Just fill out our map a little bit with help from Wescombe. And then we can eat something, hopefully. Do we have some money? Jesus, 300,000 gil. Greatly boosts all stats and increase his experience. And Jesus Christ, that is a lot of money. Anyway, we'll just go for the wood smoked fish.
Of course, I'll have it ready in a mo.
Look out, stomach.
So there we go, lovely. Got a nice little set of boosts. And Ignis is going to get another recipe, sea bass sauté, lovely, another thing to add to our ever-growing list of recipes. And then we can also look at the hunts. And I'm pretty sure all of these are essentially set during night. What's really good for us is that we should be able to actually take on multiple hunts at once.
Excellent choice. It's in your hands now, lads. That ought to tide you over for a bit.
Okay, that is 3, and then we can take the 4th one as well.
Excellent choice.
So it looks like we've got Mind Flayers, Owl. I don't know what the Alv is. Hecteyes and Ronin. I think we've met the Ronin, definitely met the Ronin and the Mind Flayers before. So now that we've done that, we should try and look at our map, see where we need to go for these quests. So it looks like we just need to go towards the Leville area. And we can jump on a nearby gondola.
Splendid. Where are we off to?
So obviously we can skip these trips now. I've already shown, you know, you can obviously enjoy them to your heart's desire, how you feel, but we'll largely skip through them. We'll also want to just sort of explore Altissia a bit more, so sort of see everything that's here.
How about a ride-a-la on the gondola?
Okay, so we are at nighttime, which is good. It's where we, the sort of time we want to be at, and now we just need to make our way behind the Leville, which is obviously just there. That is a shop. Anything to buy? So we've got healing items, we've got some super hydrophobic coating. Okay, so we can't quite buy all of these, but we definitely want to buy the Type 0 soundtrack, the Luna sticker, Little Friend sticker, and we'll buy Guardians as well. We may well have enough by the time that we actually finish our questing, because obviously that will give us money, the hunts. Okay, so we can make our way up here, which is sort of to the plaza sort of area. And then I think we want to head down.
What is it?
It's a little chilly.
Yeah.
This way to the dress? Yep. Same street as the estate.
Seems we're on the right track.
Okay, so that's obviously in relation to the Luna Freya dress quest. So I mentioned this in the Chocobo Moogle or Moogle Chocobo Carnival episode that we did, because that was also set here in Altissia. That the Altician map is absolutely terrible for actually working out where you need to go. As we find ourselves a glass gemstone, which we may well have one of already. So there is a shop here where you can get a blood sword. We can get a thunderbolt, which we already have. We found one of those. A wyvern lance, delta daggers, which we already have, a flame gun, and a hero's shield. So obviously, once more, we always want to, you know, I'm trying to essentially only buy weapons that we need to buy. Already failed in that to some extent, because we bought the ice brand, and we can definitely find an ice brand. So we'll probably try and do that at some point too. So it looks like, which of these can we find? It looks like we can actually find most of these, or at least be gifted these weapons. So we may well not buy anything here at the moment, which is, you know, always a little disappointing, but there you go. Again, always feel like, you know, you don't have to do that again. If you've got the money, feel free to buy those sort of weapons and stuff like that. Okay, so this is like right behind the Leville, I think. And there's nothing around here, except our hunt should be. Here we go. Okay, you, Hecteyes. Okay, so. So, what do we have? As we so level 20, these should be no problem to us. They are weak to polearms, shields, and light. And a mind flayer as well. I had not spotted the mind flayer. May well be the Mind Flare that's actually weak. Or maybe we're doing 2 quests at once. It may well be the case. It's difficult to tell. Still, we can use... I'll quickly have to just equip people out beforehand, but we should be fine. So I've never actually done these hunts before because I think I just raced through most of this as we got through it. So, sorry, what was that? So, daggers and light magic. Okay. And, and lightning. So, gear, Noctis. We definitely want a spear of some sort. And then probably... Put on some assassin's daggers. And then we can look to spells. We actually have 0 spells. So we'll try and... We may well have to do some elemency if we can. Power shield we can change to... we'll keep as the power shield. Dawnhammer works here. Enhancement is fine. Delta daggers and ice spear. These the best. So the spell daggers are GIF and are weapons that you get for doing episode Ignis. So we'll just we won't do that quite yet. Obviously, well we can't. We don't have access to those essentially. What we will do is we will use Star Shell because it weakens demons. And then if we go to Elemency, can't believe that we've actually let it get down this bad. So we at least want to create one of those. And then I think we also want to make a lightning spell. Which won't be particularly strong because okay, so we get off the
Sorry.
yeah, so we're doing tons of damage to the Hecteyes, which I think are the ones that will weak to ice. Yeah, so that was definitely the Hecteyes we just took out. So they can actually appear at multiple times, which is actually quite cool. Okay, so that parry is actually relatively difficult to hit. So that should be beating down our clothes here. So again, we'll just quickly equip that thunder spell. Yeah. So we'll just throw on an elixir. It's like they're just falling on the ground. So these are the hardest guys, I think. These are like level 20. So we're largely just going to try and stay out of the way of these guys, it seems. Yeah, that's the move that we want to avoid. Essentially one where they sort of grab you and then trap you within their sort of hands. Not good. Again. Okay, so we're confused, which means that okay, so like I said, we were confused, which means that my controller is reversed.
Ready, guys?
Okay, lovely. Cool. So we managed to take out those 2 quests. Lovely. job. So that is return, that is also return. We should now look at these two, which are also both in the same place.
Yeah!
Woohoo! We're alive! Let's celebrate by eating something dead!
I do love them. Okay, so we get a Spirit ZX there, which is one of a few consumables that are slightly more rare. I think they sort of start appearing more so as we sort of hit this sort of area, as we start moving towards further away from lead and, you know, just Lucis in general. But essentially, I think they just provide like big boosts to your stat bonuses in general. So as you can see, in order to get to this area, we actually need to take a second gondola. So we need to find the gondola station, which is located up there. And then okay, there we go. Yeah, I was at full. I don't know why that happened. So, anyway.
So,
sorry if I cut out there. It's because my controller just randomly cut out. So anyway, we will make our way over to Lystra Park. And we can sort of enjoy the view of Altissia. As you can see over there, there's a large arena. And we will be heading over there as well. Obviously, we're pretty much through the night. We'll obviously do some fights like we're doing at the moment. And then once it sort of reaches daytime, I think there'll be some more sort of like minor quests to take on. Stuff like photo opportunities and stuff like that. And there may well be sort of other places that we can visit and talk to before we eventually end up staying at the Leville. And in the next episode, we can then essentially, you know, start making our progress forwards. And then we'll have a few more episodes here, and then it will be episode Ignis for a few episodes because the events of that take place relatively close in terms of relatively soon in terms of
it has been a pleasure.
Yeah, relatively soon in terms of where we are now, so that will be interesting, and I hope you stay around for that. So we get ourselves a beautiful bottle. I think the first time I ever came to Altissia, I had no idea that there was actually this second set of gondolas and all that, and I only really found it out when I did the Moogle Chocobo Carnival, because obviously in order to do everything in that, you actually do have to go everywhere. So we have another shop located around here. And Totem Mostro.
Oh, well. We meet again.
So you can see you can buy Horn of Resolve, Horn of Tenacity, Horn of Cleansing, Horn of Madness. These are used inside the Totem Mostro minigame. And we'll be probably getting involved in that soon.
Luna Freya's wedding dress.
Let's take the gondola back.
Sounds like we've gone off track. Yeah.
So that was a small thing there where you can hit play with this and throw a paper plane, evidently. Not entirely sure what that was about, but there we go. It's surprising actually seeing so many people out. Normally by this sort of time, you know, it's dark enough and obviously it's raining, but in terms of the game itself, you know, whenever it becomes nighttime, you're generally thinking demons are about. So normally the the NPCs and stuff like that just decide it's time to stop. So another thing we should try and do is find the guy who we can start talking about Oracle Ascension coins with, because that'll be really good.
Look, Nut.
What is it?
Flavor of the day is...
So there we have obviously like a gelateria, so ice cream vendor. So that'll probably be another way back. Do we want to go straight to Totemostro or not? I don't think we can.
Hey,
there
what's
is
up for a bite?
few sort of smaller individual things to look at along the way, but we don't need to worry about those yet. So, we'll head down and do the battle, and then I think we will head over to do the Totemostro, and then we'll come back, and then we'll walk back as opposed to taking the gondola. Although now I'm thinking we may not be able to do so. Again, sort of like knowing exactly where you can go in Altissia is always maddeningly annoying, I find. I always feel like you get lost so easily here just because the map is so unhelpful. It just tells you literally, like, I don't know, like, what is it telling me right now? Where can I go? What direction? It's just terrible. So another beautiful bottle. Here is our battle. We got a Ronin.
I'm going all out.
Which we already know as being a relatively weak enemy. Again, also weak to some. So Ronins essentially, much like most of the samurai sort of enemies, have this capacity to deal lots and lots of damage like that. I'm sure that I was dodging that, but...
Keep it together.
One shot!
There we go. Nice and simple, that one.
Save the coffee for later.
Something to look forward to.
Okay, and now what we could do is we can go to our final quest in terms of these, which is located there. So actually this one we do actually need to make our way through the city a little bit more. There are more quests within, more hunts and stuff within Altissia to do as well. But those we can't do until we're a higher hunting level, I think. So yeah, we'll try and take like this bridge down and this bridge across and see if that works. But yeah, there's no point in us trying to do the Totemostro now, because if we do so, then we'll probably no longer be in nighttime, and if we're not in nighttime, we then can't fight these demons, these owls. So we'll pop down here, head across. And then I think there may well be a dead end path down here, and that may well be where they're spawning the enemies. Yeah, there is. Here we go. So owls. Hello. You. So what are these guys like? There's 3 of them. They look very much like the sort of imp type creatures that we've seen beforehand. And something that this game does seem to do is sort of just sort of keep familiar sort of, like if one of an enemy is weak to something, then a lot of it, then most of the enemies of that type will be weak to it. So if one sort of goblin-like enemy is weak to ice and daggers, then next other ones will be as well. Ouch. That is a lot of damage. I've actually been playing quite a bit of the Comrades DLC recently, sort of in single player.
Worry about yourself.
Procto! Yeah! Let me brighten your day!
Everything cool? Takes more than that to face me.
Nice one, Procto! Get lost! One shot!
Ouch. So yeah, maybe I'm just a little bit out of practice certainly with the yoga. But as ever with this game, the actual combat itself is not particularly, like, the threat of death is never really something to worry about unless you're low on items, and the rate at which you can pick up items.
Why they're here?
Well, it ain't a good sign, that's for sure.
There's just so many
really
of
out
them.
of whack.
So there we go, we complete all 4 of the hunts that we are currently able to do here in Altissia. And now what we can do is we can head back and look at the Toto Mostro mini-game, which is something else that I dabbled in briefly, but did not do an awful lot with in my first playthrough of the game, but is something that actually has an awful lot to it, and some very nice rewards. So once we sort of get way later on in this walkthrough, sort of long into post-game, there are some few key, some few big items and stuff like that that we'll want to sort of get through the course of, you know, playing the mini game. So we'll make our way up. There once more is the shop, but this time we are going to head over and take the gondola, which will take us.
Where are we off to?
Well, there's only one place to go, and that is the arena. So this time we'll skip these sort of gondola cutscene, if we can. We may well not be able to, sort of for like the first time as we enter the arena, but we can sort of enjoy the beautiful scenery here in Altissia. It's a really, I really enjoy it as a sort of locale and how it fits within the narrative of the game and stuff like that. I just wish it wasn't so frustrating to actually travel around in, because the map is so unhelpful, let's put it that way. Okay, so we're going to look at the Toto Mostro minigame. So the Toto Mostro minigame is essentially an arena game where...
You can get a pretty good view from here.
Oh, when's the next bout gonna start?
This instrument we got, what is it? Gridantes, I believe they're called. We use them to spur the monsters on. Really? Hey, don't blow it here.
A lot louder than I thought.
It's about to start.
So we'll see what happens. We essentially get the choice of, as you'll see, you essentially try and predict monsters. So you essentially have AI monsters will battle each other inside an arena. You can essentially bet a set number of medals. If you win, you then win according to the odds that you had. You can then trade in those medals that you win in order to do things. Additionally, you have the set of sort of 5 horns. So you notice that obviously we could buy horns at that vendor just outside. And here you can actually use them to essentially, you can then use them to spur your monsters on. They essentially give little mini buffs in certain ways. So the prizes, let's have a look. You have a Magitech generator, which is just, as it says, eradicates the need for fuel. So essentially you'd never need to have fuel, but it costs 3,600,000 medals. A diamond bracelet, so obviously increasing that sort of, that reward in terms of accessory bonus. A bunch of decals and the mythic color samples to finally get those last few colors available for your vehicle. An ingredient, Arapaima roe, which essentially saves you having to catch the Arapaima, which is one of the hardest fish to catch. some rather interesting weapons, a new rod and a new reel and a very valuable lure. Let's have a look. Silver bangle. I'm trying to remember if this is the lure. A vibration lure is spread by a monster that fought fiercely in the arena. It rises to the surface when reeled in, but sinks when stopped. Never mind. So yeah, a silver bangle. You've also got like a turbocharger, which increases your top speed, curl whiskers, so other sort of items as well. So especially these ones at the top are very much unique to this game, and so you definitely want to do that. So you can see that it costs 10 gil to buy some medals. So I think we'll start off with, let's go 1,740. So that's obviously not a lot. You can see how much you'd need to buy just to get there. And then what we can do is we can wager. And essentially we want to wager everything on it. So you have the odds. We've got lead antlers, so that's like anax. We've got obelisks, which look like to be sort of scorpion type enemies. Tusk till dawn, which are these sort of a little sort of flexi tusks, and ashen one big ashen horn. And you can also flexi tusk, ashen horn. So let's go with these guys. We'll bet 100. Why not? And let's see how we go. Bet on the blue team. So essentially, I'm not controlling this in any way, but essentially your monsters will attack in certain, the monsters attack each other. And what we can do is you have the chance occasionally to essentially use the horn, and it will have certain benefits. So in this case, the Horn of Fortitude will recover health to your monsters, I believe. So now, hopefully, our Flexi Tusks will be able to take down the Anax Stag. There we go, lovely. So our Flexi Tusks are successful. And we win, which means we get
Let's see more of that sharpness.
A bunch more sort of, a load more medals. So in this case, you've got a choice between a level 32 Spark Shears and some level 10 Mesmenir, of which, so you can see the different odds. You can also see sort of condition and stuff like that. I really don't think there's anything not going, there's no reason to sort of not go for the Spark Shears here. And again, you can see that there is a limit to the amount that you can actually bet. In terms of, you can't bet more than 9,999, so 9,999. So there's a limit in that sense. So we've obviously got a bunch of level 10 Mesmenir, one big crab. Hopefully our crab can, oh yeah, that's what we want to see. Doing huge amounts of damage. And then once more we can heal up our chosen monster. I really don't think he's going to lose here. And so yeah, you essentially make these bets. You'll with practice you'll sort of start finding different monsters, which ones you find win more often, lose more often, and you can essentially do that. And generally even sort of like the low ones like this, where that one seemed pretty obvious to, like, the whole machine, they must be losing money is what I'm saying, because the amount that you can bet on these sort of does seem kind of silly. Now in this case obviously our condition is actually quite low, but the dual horn is also quite low and the tusk force is quite high. And yeah, let's go for the group of 5 saber tusks. Why not? But in this case, I'll only bet like 400. This will be the last one we'll do, and then we'll get back into Altissia. So obviously our guys have higher, oh look, we do so much damage to the Flexi Tusks. Great work. I should have bet more. They do a lot to us. But we can heal everyone up by 100. The Ashen second Jewel Horn is down. The Flexi Tusk is down. Our Saber Tusks are victorious. Also gives you a nice chance to sort of look at all of the different monsters and sort of stuff like that. So we get a nice chunk of money as well.
That was indeed a hard-stopping bout.
So we'll now leave. And that essentially is the objective of the Totemostro, that chance to sort of earn the money that you can do, not to earn money, but to earn the tokens, which you can then exchange for valuable items. Okay, so as you can see, it is now sun out, and so I think there's actually quite a cute little NPC. Is that the right person? It is the right person, so we can talk to this little person here.
I definitely recognize this style from somewhere.
Okay, so if we talk to you, can I please talk? I am pressing X. So for some reason we can't talk to this person. Essentially the idea is that she is the person who has been taking a lot of the little sort of cartoony drawings that I think we should have in our pictures. So these are stuff like, they're located in like, Wiz's Place and stuff like that. They're just sort of like small little cartoon like drawings of you know, different characters in the game and stuff like that. And we'll see if we can find one. If not, that's okay. We found some. There's one in like yeah, there's one. So stuff like this. So sort of like a little drawing of a Chocobo. There's some located in, as you can see, located in Lestalem and also located in Wiz's Chocobo, you know. So those sort of drawings are all said to be done by this one NPC, who you can then talk to, and she will do a drawing of you. But for some reason it's not allowing us to interact. So maybe it's... Maybe we have to have got past like a certain point in this side quest, or like maybe we can only do it if we're returning, or something like that. That's a little disappointing. Obviously, you know. Oh wait.
There should be a real nice photo spot somewhere nearby.
Let's check it out.
Yeah,
okay, so
go.
there's our first one. Our first one of these photo ops. There's a group of 4, I think, in Altissia. And so we can do the first one
Hey,
here.
fellas.
Here we
Care
go.
to get your portrait drawn? Bene. All right, if you could stand right there. There. Have a look.
Wow. Wait, that's me? But
I'd say she did a fine job capturing our most prominent features.
my nose is not that prominent.
So there you go. That's sort of a cute little interaction you can have there, and we'll definitely save that photo. We haven't found all of those photos. There are still a few more to be found, but that's just a nice little touch, I think, sort of having that sort of NPC actually exist in the game, along with, you know,
Take a shot from here.
being able to find her photos as well.
Now it's picture time.
She may well also only appear if you actually have found her photos. I do not know the specifics for her appearing. So yeah, we're going to be able to do another sort of side quest here as we get photo op at the park. For some reason Gladio has decided not to be in this one. Oh no, he is. He's at the back.
Oh,
Just not getting in the way. So yeah, so there's that one. Like I said, there's a few others that we should be able to Altissia. So I'm just going to do a little bit of a wander around, see what's located around this sort of area. Satario Street. Again, Altissia being the maze that it is.
A caring soul.
Like you. No wonder you get along like wildfire.
We do have much in common, like our tales of picking up after the prince.
Glad I could be of service.
Gotta love Iggy. Always got something to say about.
What about it?
So we've got the
sweets. Could go for a taste though.
Excuse me, could you point us to the shop with Lady Lunafreya's dress?
Just follow this road towards the Secretary's estate. Then brace yourself for the insane crowds.
Oh, well, I guess that's to be expected. Thank you.
So as they say there, more sort of hints towards...
Big? Think you mean huge?
More sort of hints towards the fact that of Lunafreya obviously being about and stuff.
You get the sense.
Okay, so we could go straight down that way. Is this where we were? I feel like this was where we were. I do just want to check down here. This might just be for the gondola station, but there may well be an NPC down here who's rather interesting. This guy, I think it is. So we get a Verve WX, which is another one of these little consumables, and we can talk to this guy.
You're not from here. Alessio's my name. Coin collecting's my game. Oracle Ascension coins specifically. Have you any? If you're willing to part with some, I'll gladly trade you a token of equal value.
So we've been collecting Oracle Ascension coins for so long, and this is what they're used for. You can trade Oracle Ascension coins for rather useful accessories, namely resistances to lots of different things. So obviously fire, ice, lightning, and dark. You also have the Mighty Guard, which protects you against all of them. The Stone Wall, which protects you against fire, ice, and bullets. But also then the Ribbon, which protects you from almost all status ailments, so you can't be turned into a toad and stuff like that. So that's what the Oracle Ascension coins are used for. And so yeah, that's essentially their best use. Now, these are Justice Monster 5 machines, and obviously they are located throughout, there's loads of them, and they're located in like most of the Kenny's diners. But there is one of these, I don't know which one it is. One of these is actually really, really expensive to play, but if you do play, you can actually earn some pretty big rewards from it. I'm letting you know now. Obviously, we're not going to do it now, hence why I'm leaving, but I'm just saying that that is something also to sort of keep an eye on, especially when we return to Altissia at some point later in the game. So there you go. There is... spoiler that we can actually, this is one of the locations that we can and will be returning to in order to sort of finish everything. You don't need to do everything here in Altissia at once. I guess you guessed that from like the Totemostro and all that sort of stuff. So anyway, we can head through here. This is the secretaries. I think, did they say secretaries or council? Again, I wasn't paying attention. That's the estate. You can see sort of like the armored guard. Can we actually go in behind? We can. He's obviously doing a great job. Again, I think this is a source of various energies that you can actually absorb up and help us with our spells. I guess because you have the potential to do hunts here, it's actually important that, or at least they feel it's valuable for them to actually...
We're stuck in travel black.
Why not try wearing your official Lucian battle gear with pride?
You might even become a real trendsetter around here.
So yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, because you have hunts here and stuff like that, it's actually important that they give you the capacity to actually get more magic, essentially. Anything down here? Literally nothing. It's a dead end. Okay, so we'll actually have to head back up. We'll probably do the Luna Freya quest, i.e. the sort of the dress quest, and then try and rest at the Leville and be done. We may well sort of get accosted by sort of Prompto wanting to do minor quests, sort of like photo quests along the way. And that'll be fine. Do, 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 do. So we head down here, and we should eventually encounter the dress. Quest is called Symbol of Peace.
It's nice.
Oh, the dress is so beautiful. I want mine to be like that.
And it shall be, my love, as surely as I am your Prince Noctis.
Looks like the prince has a following as well.
Not bad. For a symbol of the peace.
So that's quite cute, and there we go. So
One hell of a crowd.
And that's the dress. My word.
Everyone looks so happy. And it's all because of this one dress.
Yeah.
Real glad for you that Lady Luna Freya is safe and sound.
Yeah.
Well, that settles it. You gotta make it happen. Become a symbol of the peace. After we tie up all the loose ends, let's think about the ceremony.
A fine idea.
Yeah. I'll think about it.
you'd think that, you know, recognizable Prince Noctis arriving to the scene of, you know, his to be wedded, you know, Luna Freya there, that cause a bit more commotion, you would think, but yeah. I feel like, you know, again, that's something that a lot of people have always commented, like, why don't more people sort of recognize Noctis and all this sort of stuff? And that is something that you can always...
Then why don't you?
Yeah, let's hit up Margot later.
Can always, you know, make a comment on and sort of, like, talk about it. In the Chocobo Moogle Carnival, there's actually a Square Enix cafe located along that route as well, and they served up some unique dishes that you couldn't get in the game, which was quite cool. It didn't look like it was there now, as we get ourselves a gold needle. And yeah, pretty much we're just going to head back to the Leville. Hopefully not get lost along the way. We should be able to cut across from here. So we have a fishing thing for Noctis to be interested in. Again, we can do fishing. There are a few fishing spots here in Altissia, but again, we just sort of don't really have the time to actually do those right now. So I think this is a photo spot, but we might not get it because it's not bright. You know, it's not the middle of the day. So instead, we'll just head down. Normally, we would cash in our hunts, but we won't do that quite yet. And what we can do is we can come into here. There is Gentiana and Umbra.
Gentiana.
Ahead lies a future uncertain, yet sure is the astral memory, wherein the king may walk.
So, as we say, that Umbra has certain powers, and essentially Umbra will allow you to essentially revisit past memories is the way they look at it, but essentially it allows you to travel back to Lucis. And with that we get the Messenger's Amulet. So we now should be heading over to the First Secretary, that's her name, First Secretary State. But initially we're just going to stay at the Leville.
Let's call it a day.
Soft beds, baby.
And I think this is the cheapest that the Leville is here. I think if you want to stay at any other time, it becomes far more expensive, because this is the one location, I believe, that has the largest EXP boost. I think it's ×3. Oh no, it's ×1.5, okay. I think there's definitely a ×3 somewhere. It may well be the other suite next door. But anyway, we'll all sort of, some people get minor increases and stuff like that. We can take some...
I know. I dig it too.
These beautiful pictures of Altissia. Major characters.
Not bad.
Oh, nice little selfie. And some Totemostro stuff.
Not bad.
Dress. And there we go. Cool. And that's going to be it for this episode. I hope you have enjoyed it. I hope you will join me on the next, where essentially we will finally start moving forwards with the main quest here. We will go to the First Secretary's estate and talk to her. We may well see if we can do some minor side quests beforehand, but it doesn't matter if we can't. And then, yeah, we'll be pretty much ready to then continue forwards with the game and start hitting the more linear section of the game. The next episode, where we will be talking to the First Secretary here in Altissia.